Look, please, please, please take it away. Please take it away. I'll do a cord cut into. This week. We're recruiting people. Come on, guys. We getting people, y'all. Yup. I'm dressing right today. Showing a little skin today. Y'all hear that? Just two peas in a pod.
So I just did a reading, and when I say every day I'm going to be a bigger person and a better person, I mean that, because I've always known that one of my grandmothers was my main spirit guide, but this is the first time that I felt connected to her, and I figured out like which one was my main spirit guide. And obviously it's my grandma on my mom's side, but it's the first time I really like had a confirmation, you know. And it feels really nice because her candle is flickering very, so she's happy. And I'm happy, and then I'm about to cry again.
So this doesn't count as an artist date, but I did stop and talk to the man that be selling hot dogs. It was really nice. He's got to get his own shop soon, and I feel very nice like supporting him, because he really we have a lot of stimulating conversations, and you know, it's really nice to connect with the people in your community, because you never know who's gonna support you getting big later. Hey y'all, so I just came back from my botanical and I picked up 4 things, I believe. So first I got this black figure candle for protection spells on myself. Fast luck oil for my money spells. Pay me candle. This one is my spirit guides candle. I'm gonna put my grandma's name on it and everything. And then it has this like prayer that you can pray on there. Look at the picture. I think it's so cute. That's the only thing I got. But we're gonna do some stuff with this. I don't know why I didn't get this before Thursday. I could have did the money stuff yesterday, but you know, that don't matter. Okay, remember this. This is important. Please unblock the roads and negative energy affecting my money. Thank you. Out here taking out the garbage, and my neighbor got some chickens. I don't know if you guys can see the chickens, but there are definitely chickens out here, and they're so cute. Glad I stepped outside. It's really nice outside. After I'm done with all, I'm cleaning today, y'all. After I'm done cleaning, who knows? I might go for a nature walk, because it's really nice outside, and you should always take advantage of the weather. Hey guys, Magician Jojo is back with another YouTube video, and today we are on week 2 of The Artist Way. So y'all just seen the earlier videos, and basically that's just what I was doing all of week 1. Um, I'm gonna do the same thing. Like that's just gonna be the foundation for every video. It's gonna be a recap of what happened and what I was doing last week. Even though that's not all of what I was doing last week. That's just the basics. But yep, I had a good week 1. I came to a lot of personal realizations. Um, every time I feel like I had an awakening, I feel like I was having another one. So this book I crashed out. Like that's why I didn't have that's why I didn't have like a foundation for day 2 week 1. It was just like that little voice recording because I didn't even get to record day 2 week 1 because the morning journaling had me crashing out. I forgot to record. So that was just that little record snippet or whatever. But going back, like I journaled about so much that I thought I was just gonna hold on to for a long time, and really feels great to let go of a lot of things and come to a lot of realizations, because I wouldn't have came to these realizations on my own. And if I did, it wouldn't have been in this moment. It would have been later. So I'm glad that I'm coming to these realizations. But now I just, because sometimes like I take note of things and I do it for the week, but I just let it go because I don't know. It's hard for me to stay like committed to things. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I stayed committed to this full week of morning pages. Knowing I'm not a fucking morning person, but well. So anyway, we what I would do is look back on the stuff that I journaled about, but in the book it says that you can't look back on the pages that you journaled about. I forgot why they said that, but all I know is I can't look back. So what we're gonna do is move forward. And speaking of moving forward, what chapter are we on? Chapter 2. And chapter 2 is called Recovering a Sense of Identity, which I feel like is perfect because I was just telling my sisters that I don't really know who I am because of all the things we have to put up with in childhood and me focusing on other family members but not truly focusing on myself, and it's making sure like I'm okay. So this is great. This is great. This is great. But as far as like check-in wise, um, every day but the first day I did my morning pages because y'all see the time frames. The first day I did the pages in the afternoon because I don't know, something had made me mad the day 1 morning, so I just decided to do it in the afternoon. But the book said even if you don't feel like journaling, you have to journal anyway. So they clocked my tea, and I just started journaling in the morning, even if I didn't really feel like it. But artist date. So I don't know if this counts as an artist date, but I went to Dollar Tree and I bought a whole bunch of new stuff for my self love altar over there, and you know, um, and I've been feeling like a little bit artistic or whatnot, even though it doesn't count as an artist date. Like in chapter 1 of the Artist Way, it talks about the negative thoughts in the left sensor of your brain. The left sensor of your brain, and Like the book is spiritual, so they said that you could think of it as the devil, but I just named it Melissa. I named it Melissa, and that's what my negative thoughts like manifest as. I'm not gonna show you my notes, but I am gonna show you Melissa, cause like I drew her kind of ugly, but like not really like ugly, but you know, but basically, this is Melissa. Yep, yep, yep. That bitch always trying to tell me what I can and can't do and just keep me in a negative. Bro, do y'all see the. Well, I've been writing, I've been committed to my morning pages, okay? And pages on pages on pages. Like, I've been writing. I've been writing. Like, I think I'm going to need a new journal soon. And I'm going to move all. Well, how am I going to move all the information to the new journal if I can't read the pages? So I'm going to refrain on getting a new journal, but I'm just going to fill this one up. Because, I mean, do y'all see how I decorated it? I love this journal. I don't even want to get no new journal no time soon. Anyway, but, um, so back to the check in. So, one of the pages, artist date. Um, oh, the task, asking the task for week one. So I definitely forgot to I definitely forgot about these damn tasks. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, but I'll just do them along with week two's task, and I'm gonna make a note in my journal about the tasks that I have to do because I look at my journal every day, so it's not like I'm gonna forget about them if I'm looking in there. But yeah, I didn't do none of week one check-ins. The only check-in I did from week one was the artist day and the morning pages. Um, One that I'm gonna do along with week two task is I'm just gonna go in order. I did the artist date. I did that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go in order like I said. Um, Time travel list three old enemies of your creative self worth and be as specific as possible. So I'm gonna do that one too. I got my highlighter, I got my pen, and I'm ready for week two for real because I just had to find my highlighter. But anyways, we just gonna jump right into it, I guess. And put this cover back on me because I'm just a little bit chilly from the fan. Even though I don't know why I just don't turn the fan off instead of putting the cover on, but I like to have the perfect temperature. So not too much. But anyways, how many days did you do your morning pages? 7 out of 7. I'm answering the question before I read chapter 2. Yes, I did an artist date. Okay. Yes. Emotional breakthroughs. Okay. Recovering a sense of identity. Week 2. Going sane. Mm. Trusting our creativity is new behavior for many of us and may feel quite threatening initially, not only for us, but also to our intimates. Hmm. We may feel and look erratic. This erraticism is a normal part of getting unstuck, pulling free from the muck that has blocked us. It is important to remember that at first flush, going sane feels just like going crazy. Going sane feels just like going crazy. That's how I felt this past week. Like, even though I was coming to a lot of mental clarity, I feel like I was going nuts. Like, it's just not, it feels good, but it feels bad at the same time. Like, I don't think people understand that. People think having spiritual awakenings and like healing through things it's just supposed to be a happy go ride. No, I feel like I was going nuts. Like, nuts. Hmm. Just as a recovering alcoholic must avoid the first drink, the recovering artist must avoid taking the first think. And basically, for context, they were saying how common self attacks are okay, so I did okay this week, but it's just a temporary thing. Or, okay, so I got the morning pages done, but I probably did them wrong, and da 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 da. Which is kind of what I was doing in the beginning of the video, saying how I don't think it counts as artist day, or stuff like that. Me doing my morning pages in the afternoon, like I'm trying, and that's all that matters. But my subconscious and the left sensor in my brain is telling me that that doesn't matter, and that I need to just be healed right away. Like, cause I'm not gonna lie, a part of my ego was just thinking that after week one, I probably was just gonna not need the rest of the book. But obviously, that is not true, and I'm just coming from a place like I don't know. I don't even know, honestly. I'm gonna find out when I keep reading, though. Early in our creative recovery, self doubt can lure us into self sabotage. A common form for this self sabotage is showing someone our morning pages. Now, while I will say I didn't show anybody my morning pages, but I was talking about them. I was very tempted to show people my morning pages. Why? I don't know. Not even, I don't know. I just really wanted to see, I just wanted to let people know that I was doing the work and I was healing. And I just wanted to see I just wanted to see if somebody was going to be proud of me for putting in the work healing. But I don't know. What I have to realize is that even if no one else is proud of me, I need to be proud of myself. And man, but I'm glad I didn't show nobody my morning pages because I don't know. That's kind of personal anyway. So I don't know. Can't do that one. Not surprisingly, the most poisonous playmates for us as recovering creatives are people whose creativity is still blocked. Huh. People whose creativity, our recovery threatens them. People who don't want to change and don't want to grow are always threatened by those who do, or those who are already there, and those who are putting in the work to be there, because they know that the person who's doing better or trying to do better is a reminder that they also need to do better within themselves. But they don't want to do better within themselves. So instead of doing the work to make sure that they feel secure in themselves and feel like they're not doing wrong in life, they just take it out on you and they try to downplay whatever you're doing and whatnot. And that sucks, but hurt people hurt people. Oh, okay. So y'all clocking my teeth for real, for real. We could wonder and worry about our arrogance instead of being humble enough to ask to help to move throughout our fear. The way I would just be scared by myself rather than ask anybody else for help is a problem. Like, I don't know, the fear of asking people for help, like, I don't want anybody to think I'm weak or that I can't do it on my own. But I know that's not necessarily a problem to not do things on your own, but I don't know. The way I was raised, mm, I just felt like I really couldn't ask for help. Like, I just thought that I was just supposed to find the answer on my own. So there you go. We could fantasize about art instead of doing the work. Me all day. Me all day. Oh, that hit deep. Do not expect your block friends to applaud your recovery. That's like expecting your best friends from the bar to celebrate your sobriety. How can they when their own drinking is something they want to hold on to? So even like that was a good example to use because some people like they don't want you to grow, because then that means that they'll probably think that they're obligated to grow too, like I just said, and they don't want to grow because they're comfortable in doing what they're doing because it's uncomfortable to grow and change. But people would rather stay in the state of where they are right now than want to grow and elevate to something else, to something more. And sometimes you have to leave those people behind. Blocked friends may find your recovery disturbing because they don't want to grow. See, this how I know my intuition on point. Because what I just say, y'all, this the next sentence. You're getting unblocked raises. You getting unblocked raises the unsettling possibility that they too could become unblocked and move into authentic creative risk rather than bitch sitting cynicism. I just said that. I literally just said that. You being forced to grow means that they're also going to be forced to grow in some way. And they don't like that. They don't like that. They want to stay in self hatred and self pity. And they want to find someone to blame for their own issues instead of blaming themselves. Because at some point, we have to stop blaming everyone else and our parents for our issues and come up to terms with the fact that we have been sitting on our emotions for too long. And that's not healthy at all. So be particularly alert to any suggestion that you have become selfish or different. There are attempts to leverage us back into our old ways for the sake of someone else's comfort, not our own. And that's what I'm used to doing as a child. Just pushing down my emotions for the sake of everybody else's peace and everybody else's comfort. And the whole time I'm internally struggling. And that's not fair to me because whose peace am I really keeping? Not my own, definitely. So why am I forced to keep everybody else's peace when y'all don't give a damn about mine? We need to trust the great creator and move out in faith. Repeat. The great creator has gifted us with creativity. Our gift back is our use of it. The great creator has gifted us with creativity. Our gift back is our use of it. I need to write that down. I need to remember that. As your recovery progresses, you will come to experience a more comfortable faith in your creator and your creator within. And that's so true because after this past week, like even though it hasn't fully healed all 19 years of my religious trauma, I feel better about God now than I did a month ago. A month ago, I still had this internal fear that I was going to go to hell for doing what I was doing. And I'm not saying the fear just went away, but it's definitely not as prominent anymore as it once was before I got this book. Man, I don't know. My relationship with God was very troubling, very questioning. Like, even as a child, I remember things like me and my sister just got back cool. I remember things from childhood I didn't even really like remember. Like, I remember when I was a child and I used to ask my mom about God and stuff because I was born and raised Christian. So, you know how that go. I used to ask my mom about God and stuff. I was a questioner in church. So I remember one time my mom told me that we had to fear God. And that kind of like, I was kind of like, what? Like, why would we have to fear? I thought we was, like, I thought God was supposed to be your friend. I thought you were supposed to love God and da 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 da. And my mom said, you are supposed to do all those things, but you're also supposed to fear God. And I don't know, that never sat right with me because why are you supposed to fear someone you love so much? Why are you scared of somebody who's supposed to be there for you all the time and hear all of your prayers? That doesn't even, does that make sense in your head? I don't know. Like it just rubs me the wrong way. Like you're supposed to love God, but you're also supposed to live with this internal fear of being this perfect being, even though they don't say that you're supposed to be perfect. They damn near expect you to because man, and then I don't know.
I didn't feel like Christianity and God was a safe space for me. Like, it was a whole couple of months I was atheist. That's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, but yeah, because I just didn't feel like I had a connection with God. But that's why I wanted to deconstruct the Bible and read the Bible for myself, because I realized that it's not Christianity that's the problem a little bit. It's not God that's the problem. It's just my understanding was not right. It didn't feel comfortable to me. It didn't feel like a God that I would want to love. So this really healed. This really changed a lot for me. This really switched up my perspective. And I appreciate that a lot. So I just got my T clocked again, and I'm on this section in week 2 called Crazy Makers. A crazy maker is a person who is charismatic but out of control, long on problems and short on solutions. They're charming, they're highly inventive, and powerfully persuasive. So what this means is they always got a lot going on in life and they don't really come up with problems. And us, as the problem solver, fixer upper, like the people whose creativity is blocked and need distractions, love crazy makers because we can just heal all of their problems and none of ours. It's a great distraction to focus on. That's why when I broke up with my first love, I kept getting with crazy makers because I just needed a distraction to distract me from the fact that I was still in love with him, and I thought that my creativity was tied to him for some reason. But after that was over, I realized, like, oh wow. Like, I would say in my last real relationship that I was in, I had to break up with him because I realized that I can't keep using people as distractions from the real problem. Because even my first love wasn't the real problem. He was just a bigger distraction from the biggest distraction. Ooh, I kind of clocked my own T with that one. A bigger distraction from the biggest distraction, and that was myself. That's crazy. They say if you're involved with a crazy maker, you probably know it already, and you're certainly recognize the thumbnail description in the paragraph above. Oh, I think said I knew already. Okay, clock my T. Crazy makers can be found in almost any setting and almost any art form. Crazy makers expect special treatment, hand in hand with narcissism. Crazy makers and narcissists are basically one and the same. So, all of the traits listed about crazy makers sound a lot like my mother. Siding people up against one another, breaking boundaries, expecting special treatment, expert blamers, nothing is ever their fault. It's probably yours in their head. And they're often blocked creatives themselves. Because my mom did used to be a very creative person, but I don't know what blocked it. Maybe the struggles of life, the downs of life. But now, I don't know. I don't know. And I hope that she can unlock her creative. Afraid to effectively tap their own creativity, they are loath to allow that same creativity in others. It makes them jealous. Crazy makers hate schedules except for their own. I was expecting me to move on her time, but when it's my time, it's just okay. It's just okay. It's just fine. You know, we can take our time. Crazy makers deny that they are crazy makers. They go for the jugular. I'm not what's making you crazy. your crazy maker may say when you point out a broken promise or a piece of sabotage. Gaslighting 101. Like, you know you're the problem. Oh, so they definitely just said if crazy makers are that destructive, what are we doing involved with them? Well, you make a good standing argument. But however, I cannot move out as of right now. Like, I got too much stuff. I don't have enough money. It's just too much, to this point where my circumstances are not where they are right now, but they will be, maybe later in the future. But as far as the other crazy makers that are in my life, what am I doing involved with them? I don't even have no other crazy makers in my life except the one. So I don't know. Oh, okay. So I just got the answer. Scratch that. It's because we're crazy ourselves and we are that self-destructive. Really? Yes. And that's what the books say too. Well, as block creatives, we are willing to go to almost any lengths to remain blocked. Oh, as frightening and abusive as life with a crazy maker is, we find it far less threatening than the challenge of a creative life of our own. What would happen then? What would life be like? Very often we fear that if we let ourselves be creative, we will become crazy makers ourselves and abuse those around us. Using this fear as our excuse, we continue to allow others to abuse us. Admit that you are being used and admit that you're using your own abuser. That's what I had to come to terms with, and that's what I'm coming to terms with now. Even my first love was a distraction from the fact that I went through something traumatizing the year before and years before that. Not saying that he's not my first love because of that. He's still always going to be my first love. But I try to put him on a pedestal away from the rest of my exes because that's my favorite ex. But in reality, we had ups and downs and bumpy roads in our relationship too. It wasn't peppermint patty perfect. Like, I just choose to ignore the bad parts because there was more good than bad, and even I'm questioning that. So, not saying that there was more bad than good, but there was definitely an even amount of both that I just wasn't really coming to terms with because I just wanted to look at our relationship as good, but that's not okay because there were bad parts of our relationship, and that is okay. We just needed to leave each other alone to grow, and I'm realizing that more and more every day. And you know, stop dancing to his or her or their tune. Oh, get yourself a 12-step program for relationship addiction. That's crazy. The next time you catch yourself saying or thinking, he/she/them is driving me crazy, ask yourself what creative works you are trying to block by your involvement. Oh, hold on, y'all. I gotta send this to my best friend. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, what? I gotta send this whole page to my best friend. I ain't gonna lie. But that was the last sentence. Now we're moving on to skepticism. Skepticism. Hmm. Okay, skepticism. Let's just take a look at the inner enemy we harbor ourselves. Okay, I wonder what the inner enemy is. Perhaps the greatest barrier for any of us as we look for an expanded life is our own deeply held skepticism. This might be called the secret doubt. Hmm. We've gotten brave enough to try recovery, but we don't want the universe to really pay attention. We still feel too much like frauds to handle some success. When it comes, we want it to go. And that relates more to my love life. Well, it relates to all of my life, but it relates a lot to my love life because I say that I'm healing and I say that I want someone who's loving and stuff like that. But when I actually get someone who's healing and loving and stuff like that, I self sabotage and it's scary. And I don't know what to do now from that moment because I'm not truly like healed, and it's coming from my conscious, it's not coming from a subconscious place because subconsciously I still wanted my first love. So, oh, okay, so new section, we're on attention. Very often a creative block manifests itself as an addiction to fantasy. Rather than working on living in the now, we spin our wheels and indulge in daydreams of could have, would have, should have. Okay, so I have been maladaptive to daydreaming a lot since I was a younger child because it's always been safer for me to live inside of my brain than to live in reality. And that's why I zone out so much, and that's why it's hard for me to get up and actually do something because it just feels more comfortable to live inside of my own personal bubble. That's where it's comfortable. Like, that's what the book just said. Actually, I didn't read it out loud, but they said like see the mind as a room and there's a door, and basically outside of the door is all the new ideas that you could possibly have, and inside of the room is all the ideas you already have, and anything that forces you to change or like invokes something changing in any way is scary. So we close the door so we feel safe. But the point is that we have to open the door to let new ideas come in and flush out the old ones that might not necessarily be aligning with our true purpose in life. That was deep. I got a lot of journaling to do this week. Child. In times of pain, when the future is too terrifying to contemplate and the past is too painful to remember, I have learned to pay attention to right now. I keep telling my best friend that I'm just trying to live in the right now, live in the moment. I'm not trying to go too fast in life. I'm not trying to look back on the past. I'm not trying to look into the future. I just want to look into now. What's happening now? Let's live in the moment now. That's what I need to try doing. Not living in my head, living in reality. Oh, these are the artist rules of the road. That's so cute. Artist rules of the road right here. Um, in order to be an artist, I must show up at the page. Use the page to rest, to dream, to try. Fill the well by caring for my artists. Set small and gentle goals and meet them. Pray for guidance, courage, and humility. Remember that it is far harder and more painful to be a blocked artist than it is to do the work. I gotta highlight that one too. Choose companions who encourage me to do the work, not just talk about doing the work or why I am not doing the work. Remember that the great creator loves creativity. Remember that it is my job to do the work, not judge the work. Place this sign in your workplace or somewhere. Great creator, I will take care of the quantity. You take care of the quality. Mm, real spill. Real spill. So I did just get done with the I'm done with chapter 2. Hey. Um so I'm gonna do the task from chapter 1 that I said I was gonna do, and then I'm gonna do the task from chapter 2 that I said I was gonna do. And then that's just gonna be the end of this video. I'm not gonna lie, because this video already long, and yeah, I'm really taking the rest of the day as a chill day and to edit this YouTube video. So this is just gonna be the last portion for right now until next Sunday. So anyway, so we're gonna go back to week 1. And this is the third task out of 10. So I'm on task 3 in week 1 and task 1 in week 2. But it's okay. So the task in week 1 is time travel. Hold on, I'm gonna write that down on a page. Okay, hold on. What's today? Hold on. It's the 23rd. I gotta text my friend happy birthday, but it's 23rd. It's 9:08. So I feel like I've been doing this for like a long time. I thought it was gonna be 10 o'clock or something, but making good time. So it's 9:08 a.m. and it's March 23rd. 23, too fast. Okay, so the title is Time Travel. Okay, made the title in my notes. So, time travel. List 3 old enemies of your creative self-worth. Please be as specific as possible in doing this exercise. Your historic monsters are the building blocks of your core negative beliefs. Yes, Rotten Sister and Rita from 5th grade does count. Oh, and yes, the thing she says to you does matter. Bet that. So this is your Monster Hall of Fame. More monsters will come to you as you work through your recovery. It's always necessary to acknowledge creative injuries and grieve them. Otherwise, they become creative scar tissue and block your growth. Okay, so the point of this exercise is to list three old enemies of your creative self-worth. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna write that down as the subtitle. List three old enemies of your creative self worth. Okay. So let's see. Three old enemies of my creative self worth. Well, my mom is one. My mom is one. My mom always told me that being an artist is not a real career, and that I needed to find something that made actual money because I was going to be broke. And granted, artists don't probably, I don't even know how much artists make, so I'm not even going to make that assumption of what artists make. But it didn't really matter to me about the money. I just wanted to create art. I just wanted to be an artist. and I would always be encouraged to get a real job and have that job as a side job, but I want that to be my real job. Why can't that be my real job? And I've changed my major because I want to be an art therapist now. But even then, like if that changes, it's still going to be something directly related to art. And I don't care if it makes a lot of money or whatever. I just want I just want to be content and happy in my life. Money has to matter to me because money is needed and necessary to survive, but I don't like I don't understand if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But if money wasn't needed to survive, I would be fine. I would be just fine, actually. I wish we went back to trading, but let me write this down. And not even her just telling me being an artist wasn't a real job. Like, I wanted to be a musician at one point, but my mom just assumed that I was going to be a gospel singer. And as much as I do love gospel, I want to write whatever I want to write about. Like, I don't want to just be strictly restricted to writing gospel because I grew up in church. I want to write about how I feel in my love life and just living up to being your best person. Like, of course, I want to sing the glories to God, but I don't want to do that all the time. I just want to be able to have the creative freedom to write whatever I want to write. That's the point. Three times I sneezed. That's my lucky number, y'all. But yeah, so or just being restricted. My sister, even though I forgive her for it now, but at the time, they all like they just really don't see art as like a true profession for real. Because and I understand like where my sister is coming from because my sister is a very like business oriented person. Like she's not like I'm gonna say she's not artistic and creative because I'm not necessarily too sure, but the way she lives her life is like the traveling is her way of being artistic. So I don't know. She just doesn't really see my point of view. Like she agrees with our mom, but not in the same way. She has a different reasoning. Like hers is more mainly about the money. My mom's is for a lot of different reasons that I don't necessarily agree with. But at the end of the day, I love my sister and I love my mom too, but it's my personal decision to do what I want to do with my life. And regardless of if they support that decision, I just have to do it anyway because it's my life. My old abuser told me everything I did was just worth nothing and he was the only one who would love me. That just really messed me up. That was around the time I was starting to be creative again and he just used to like make fun of all of my insecurities, including my passions. So I just felt really low. I felt really low anytime he opened his mouth, honestly. So, so I'm not gonna do week 2 task right now, at least not on video, but I'll put it, I'll include it in the recap for next Sunday. Yeah, I'm not gonna do task 2 for week 2 right now. I'm just gonna include it in the video for next Sunday. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Um, this definitely has been an interesting experience for me, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the videos. I'm gonna see y'all next week, and y'all gonna see me on my TikTok if y'all follow me on there. But bye.